T.O. the leadership coach here. Are you tired of feeling stuck at your current position at work? Or perhaps you're just upset about not giving your family enough time. Or maybe you would just like to be more productive with your time, whether at home or at work. Either which way, it doesn't matter if you're a doctor, a lawyer, an engineer, a manager, military service member, sports authority, or a motivated college student. If you don't know how to maintain a thriving work-life balance, you will end up being average at work, at home, in your relationships, and eventually you will become a slave to your own time. To solve that problem that you may be struggling with, I've collected 3 of my most effective methods on how to maintain a thriving work-life balance that you can implement today. If you want to become more productive with your time, give the family your presence that they rightfully deserve, and you want solid insight on how to get off that daily hamster wheel, click the button and get your free PDF now. No games, no gimmicks. It will help you. Peace.
Peace, peace, peace. It's T.O. Clay. Light bulb lessons. All we need is 7. The 7 is God, as you already know. Today marks a special day. It is the 18th of May, 2025. And 18 May 2025 is special to me because a good young man that I know named Herbert Files III graduated today from the prestigious Morehouse College here in Atlanta, Georgia. And I promise you, it was very emotional for me. Because I was like, man, wow, like over 500 young African American men walked across that stage, and it was pouring down raining this morning. So they actually ended up moving the outside commencement to indoors. So it did cause a delay, which actually worked out in my favor because I was running a little bit behind. And yeah, because they brought everybody in and just got the students seated, because like I said, it was storming pretty bad, lightning and all of that. They wasn't in order. So it gave them the opportunity to actually come up to the mic, say their name, and say their major and where they're from. So it provided that uniqueness because each individual coming up, certain gentleman was like, whatever their name is, the major, and they would shout out their hometown. And it was brothers from all over the United States, Sacramento, LA, Miami, Chicago, Brooklyn, New York, Charlotte. I had one cat that said Louisville. You see Louisville, I think it's, on that side over there. That was the only cat that said Louisville, but I was like, man, wow. But all in all, to see Herbert graduate today, coupled with seeing him commissioned as a second lieutenant in the United States Marine Corps on Friday, it was a good weekend. And I can be honest when I tell you, I know where he started from. He started from the bottom in terms of fresh, raw freshman. I remember writing a recommendation letter for him so he could get admitted into Morehouse. And I remember we had talked about it, and I told him, I said, Herbert, listen to me, man. You're talking about Dr. Martin Luther King. You're talking about Samuel L. Jackson. You're talking about Spike Lee. So many other great individuals, P.J. Morton. And probably my favorite of all time, Keith Elam. Keith Elam is actually the guru from Gang Starr. He went to Morehouse back in, the late 80s. So he was there before he found DJ Premier and started performing and became one of the, most recognized voices in the world. So it's been a great day. And that's what we're going to build on this Light Leadership Challenge. I do these every month, as you already know. Uh, a lot of times, man, I'm just like, man, what can I build about? Because there's so many different things to build about. Let's just be honest. But I say, tonight, man, I'm gonna build about that excellence of what I saw today. It only makes sense. And I think the time right now is, let me see here. I think it's 10:40 East Coast. And we're gonna be in and out. We won't take a lot of your time. I appreciate you rocking with me. And I mean that from the depths of my heart. I really do appreciate you rocking with me, man. And today's build session is sponsored by the Milk Writing System. The Milk Writing System. Shout out to Dr. Oliver T. Reed. If you're interested in writing a book, if you're interested in taking your book to the next level, if you're interested in poetry and you want to get it on paper in a professional manner, I'm not talking about, hopping online and doing an ebook. I'm talking the full gamut. I'm talking about being able to really sit down and get it done professionally. Reach out to Dr. Oliver T. Reed. Go type in his name, Dr. Oliver T. Reed. And that's, I want to say REID, not REED. Reach out to him. And again, we thank you, Dr. Reed, for rocking with the light bulb lessons. Sponsoring is something that a lot of people may not understand. Sponsoring is covering. That man has covered me. That man has encouraged me. That man has helped lead me. That man has given me opportunity that many individuals haven't. So being sponsored is just more than, kicking a little bit of dough and saying, my hands is off. He's involved. Again, covering. So that's what I saw today. I saw real covering. I saw alumnus that was there. I saw parents. I saw educators. I saw little young kids that were looking and aspiring to one day probably be in that same situation, whether that's at Morehouse, any other university across the nation. You got in that pocket right there, you got Morehouse, you got Clark Atlanta, you got, Spelman, you got, I don't even know if Morris Brown is still there. Maybe, maybe not. I'm not sure. But those three are those main hubs that's there. And it's so awesome because they're like intertwined. If you've never been out here, they're actually intertwined. Like you're walking down one corridor of the campus and you look up, and on this side of the street, it says Spelman. You look on this side of the street, it says Clark. You look down, you see Morehouse. So it's just all intertwined, and that's a beautiful thing. It was many, many African Americans there today. And the keynote speaker for the day was the legendary theologian. Man, dude got a lot of different names: philanthropist, educator, political activist, brother Cornell West. And some people, they don't be feeling Cornell. Some people feel like Cornell he's radical. He's liable to say anything type. You know what I mean? I truly like his style. And I say I like his style because he is radical. That's what I like about it. He's got a voice. He speaks what he feels in his spirit. Some might like it, some may not. Just like this. Some people are still listening right now. Many people, soon as I started opening my mouth, they turn it off. Or what we building on tonight is not important to them. They don't really care about Morehouse and young man Herbert who graduated today. It's the last thing on their mind. They're gonna keep flicking until they find what really sparks them. I can say for me, Cornell West has sparked me. I've listened to him. I mean, honestly, he ran for president. Who knows? I may have voted for him. I'm gonna be honest with you. Yeah, I may have voted for him. I'll just leave it at that. But I really appreciate the fact that he's able to stand there on that stage and look out and see those impressionable young men. Business administrative degrees, physics degrees, mathematics degrees, psychology degrees, theater, theatrical, um, many pastors, future down the road is going to come out of that graduation today. So again, it was very special just to see each one of those men come across that stage, and you get a little feel of who they are just in that little snippet of the second of those moments for them to get on the mic, say their name, say what they have spent 4 years working on and finally accomplished, and big up their home. You know what I mean? I don't know if a lot of them are going to go home. I don't know if they're going to stay put in Atlanta or what not. But they're walking away much better than they were before they got there. They're Morehouse men now, and again, they fit into the schematic of a long, illustrious line of men that have come through there at an all-male college, did what they needed to do, and has stepped away and got out here in the world and impacted things at a very high level. I aspire to see my sons. I have two sons. If you don't know, young Cassius Clay, we call him Chet, and my man Keaton, my baby boy who's 11. I aspire to see them in the future in that same manner in which I saw today. Because I promise you, it was very special. It was very special. Some of the key things that really stood out was, again, that camaraderie. Something that I'm used to being a retired United States Marine. I'm used to that camaraderie. I'm used to being in close cahoots with other gentlemen that you go through the fire, you go through the brimstone, you go through the challenges, the ups, the downs, the good days, the bad days, only to come out on top, as in what those young men experienced today walking across that stage. You got the Q dogs in the house, you got the Kappas in the house, you got the Alphas in the house, representing what they stand for. And you could truly just see that camaraderie and that brotherhood all throughout today, all throughout. A lot of pounds, as in, hey, pull them in, get the good pound. It was dope. I mean, I loved it. Just that synergy in the room was so special and very, very, very high level. And that's something I can honestly say I appreciate. Another key aspect that I saw, you see the raw emotion of the love, man. We build a lot about light. If you first time in rocking with me, light bulb lessons is love. It's intellect. It's greatness. It's health. It's truth. I saw all 5 pillars on display today. Love, intellect, greatness, health, and truth. I saw all 5 pillars. It was so dope. Because again, it's going through my mind. I'm like, man, this is a grand, at large, huge light bulb lesson. Just being in his presence, just hearing Cornell West voice. I'm sorry, hearing his voice, the things that he actually challenged those young men to go out here and do. It wasn't racist. It wasn't on no, us versus them. It was, hey, listen, nothing is going to hold you back. Nothing other than yourself. A lot of times we do. We look to the external and we use external excuses to not show up for ourselves, to not move in the direction in terms of our choices, man. Our choices are so important. And no matter what you think, say, do, your choice, coupled with the action behind that choice, is a make or break type situation. And that's just being honest. I explain that to my sons, practically every day. Like, son, it's your choices. If you don't want to clean up your room, that's a choice. Because I expect you to. Your mother expects you to. If you don't wash your body good, get up under your armpits so by 3, 4 o'clock you're not out here smelling foul. That's a choice because you've been taught. The same goes for those young brothers today. They've been taught a skill set in terms of education and learning. There's a lot of people out here that's like, man, college doesn't mean nothing. College is whack. College is a waste of money. All these different things. But one thing they don't usually talk about is the confidence that comes along with going to college. The feeling of accomplishment. The feeling of I achieved some success because I made this choice. And I made a choice and I seen it all the way through. Yeah, I'm in Atlanta, Georgia. I may have party. I may have missed class once or twice. I may have, even struggled in classes because you could see a lot of those young fellas coming across that stage was like, ooh, woo, man, I made it. A lot, a lot of them was like, yo, I made it. And I'll be real with you. A lot of people just don't want to talk about that. A lot of people like, yo, we don't need to say anything in reference to looking at this over here. I don't know what that is. Oh, that's something on my screen. Yeah. I thought it was something on my microphone, but it was actually something on the screen. But back to what I was saying. People don't want to talk about the choice that was made and the success that comes along with that. Choices are crucial in everything we do. I wanna share something with you. Give me a second. Let me pull it up. I jot a lot of things down in my phone, and I'm just coming back to it just to resurface a little bit. Where we at here? This note that I took yesterday, it says the hack is you have to do exactly what you do not want to do. The hack is you have to do exactly what you do not want to do. A lot of those fellows, if not every one of them, I'm not saying that they didn't want to go to college because it's obvious they went. Maybe some of them was like, I don't want to go, and their parents made them go, or coach, or whatever the case may be. But for the most part, they made a choice to be there. So let's just assume they wanted to be there. However, the hack is you have to do exactly what you do not want to do. Think of all the days that they actually did more of what they did not want to do than what they wanted to do, only for the success to manifest and show itself today. Life is truly being in situations that, by the choice that you have, a lot of times it's whether or not you want to or you do not want to. That's what it really boils down to. Do I want to be on this challenge at 10:54 at night? Truth be told, after this weekend and how I've been running back and forth all weekend, nah, I should have did it earlier. But I made a choice to do other things that I have to do. Not even didn't want to do or wanted to do. I have to. I have to feed my children. I have to ensure that my children are doing what is necessary for them to be successful, for them to understand that I'm going to have to make this choice on my own eventually. But I'm here. I didn't want the 18th to go by and not be here to build with you. I wanted to build. That's what we do. That's how we get down. And being able to build and being able to push forward and get it done in a manner in which uh, it's the real hack, like I say. Next one, go against what the average person will do. Go completely against making the average decision. Go completely against making the average decision. What is that saying? That's basically saying the average is the average. Let's just be 100. For an example, the average, may have been as a Marine, we had to run 3 miles. If we ran 3 miles, we satisfied the requirement. The average is going to run 3 miles and they're going to be done. That's just 100. They're going to run 3 miles, they're going to be done. But the ones that are always making that extra effort, that hack, that go above and beyond, they're going to run 3.5. They're going to run 4. They may even run 5. And they're going to do that consistently because they want more. They don't want to be average. So go against what everybody else is doing and fix your mindset to make the choice to not do those basic average things. It's so easy to make average decisions, make excellent decisions, and the average results will fall to the wayside. That's powerful, man. That's a powerful note that I took from someone yesterday. And that individual that I took it from is CJ Quinney. I don't even need to explain who CJ Quinney is. You can type in his name, it'll pop up and you'll see who he is. I was sitting in the room with him yesterday, and I was fortunate and blessed to be able to hear him talk about some of these jewels. And I'm just sharing it along the way. I'm sharing it along the journey because straight up and down, these are my notes. They're in the phone. You have to value correction way more than you value confirmation. That's one of his quotes. So I'm quoting CJ Quinney when I say you have to value correction way more than you value confirmation. Many of us, that's what we want. We want the confirmation. Today, those young fellas down at Morehouse were confirmed. They were confirmed by order of certificate. They were confirmed by order of their name being called. They were confirmed by their families traveling from all over the United States and being there to witness that precious moment. And today was about them. And a lot of times that confirmation comes with the territory on our job, school. I was telling my buddy the other day, as a United States Marine, and we get so many confirmations and accolades and awards, and it's always something. For everything you do, there's something to supplement that. And over time, it just becomes a normal. It becomes that natural that you're going to get some form of trinket, I love me, something. But to value correction way more than you value confirmation. Oh man. Woo. Value and correction. Same thing. I I I think everybody loves some form of confirmation because that's our society. We live in a society that's built on that. Make the choice, do something, accomplish that on the average scale across the board, and you'll be confirmed. But I must say, I'm sure those young men that walked across that stage, many of those young men took a lot of correction over the last 4 years from professors, from family members back home, just different situations. A lot of those young, it was a good mix. It was some older guys, some guys my age, a couple guys that look even older than myself, probably going back and just getting their degree. They're setting that mark and they're going to get. They don't want to be average. Maybe they're the only individual in their family now that has a degree. Here nor there, valuing that correction more than you value confirmation is so crucial, because it's the correction, it's the proper correction, the sharpening of the blade, the constant reinforcement of keeping you on track that moves you forward to even be confirmed. Because I will honestly say, to be confirmed, you got to go through that fire. You have to. 4-year degree is not an easy thing to do. Master's degree, not an easy thing to do. Doctorate, not an easy thing to do. Time consuming. Sacrifice. It really takes a lot of things outside of you that's happening that really requires and depends on things inside of you that's going to be confirmed down the road if you stick with it and stay ultimately consistent. Same thing with this business. T.O. Clay Light Bulb Lessons. It's on this shirt. And I got these shirts out here, so don't get it twisted. You want to rock one of these fresh shirts? Let me show it to you. I got them in all different flavors. I got them in black. I got them in white, orange, red, yellow, whatever flavor you want, I got it. So cop that, man. You support me. That's all I ask you to do. Support me. I'm investing in this. Nobody gave me this. I have to invest in getting the prints and coming home with the shirts and doing all of the pressing and making sure it's aligned properly and coming up with the concept of the logos. All the things that confirm that T.O. Clay Light Bulb Lessons LLC, limited liability company, is legit. And it takes consistency to stay on top of it. It also takes correction. Like I said with Dr. Oliver T. Reed, he's corrected me. He's been a mentor. So many other individuals that I love to put myself in that fire, per se, to be corrected, to course correct, I would say, to be able to come out with the right confirmation. The confirmation is knowing that every single day there's an opportunity to win. And it could be the smallest win that we can imagine, but it's still a win. And today was a huge win. Right outside of the actual, building that the graduation was in, this huge statue of Martin Luther King standing with his hand up, as if like he's speaking to the Lord. It's like he's looking up at the sky like Father God. So powerful. Martin Luther King's brothers went to Morehouse. His father went to Morehouse. There's a lot of legacy there. And it was just great. So again, what's the recap for the day? The recap for this build is pretty simple, man. We must understand correction and value that more than the confirmation. Shout out to CJ Quinney for that amazing quote. Also, the other piece we talked about was going against what the average person will do. Go completely against making average decisions. Like we said, we use those young fellas today as a reference. Tomorrow, when you see this, the next day, next week from now, a month from now, when you see this, do things that are not average. Stretch yourself, push yourself to go beyond average. And you'll see what you come up with. Like I said, it'll be those small doses of those wins. And we also built about the hack being you have to do exactly what you don't want to do. And that's how we're going to rock out of here, you all. You got to do what you don't always want to do. Shout out to my father. He used to say that to me all the time. Hey, he still says it. Hey, son, sometimes, more than not, you just got to do what you got to do. And let that stick, let that marinate. I love you all out there. Continue to be great. Continue to love yourself. Shine your light that others may see your good works. With that, we love y'all. Emphatically, we always say peace.